J.D. Pickell put out his top 10 quarterback wide receiver duos entering the 2026 season. I mean, I love CJ Carr and Mylan Graham being in the top 5, and it speaks to the high expectation. I mean, look, we know what Carr is, and he still just feels like he's scratching the surface after last season. Mylan Graham, we haven't seen make a meaningful catch in his young collegiate career. Do you think this is too high? Do you think this is just right? Maybe, I don't know. Do you think that CJ Carr and Mylan Graham should be higher? Do you think that Mylan Graham isn't even the receiver pick for Notre Dame? What do you think?
Yeah, I'll start right there. He's not. It's got to be the guy who's been a go-to guy the last 2 seasons, really the last 3. I mean, when Jordan Faison came in as a walk-on true freshman in 2023 and Sam Hartman realized, oh, I can throw to this guy, he threw it to him a lot. And then Steve Angeli threw to him a lot in the Sun Bowl against Oregon State. Jordan Faison walks away with the MVP. Could have been Angeli, could have been co-MVPs. I think you agree with me there. But Faison was great in that game, and he's been great his whole Notre Dame career. So he has the pedigree. He has the body of work to make a list like that. It's a lot of projection on J.D. Pickell's part. And look, when I wrote an article on this very topic, which was great timing, I believe it was over the 4th of July weekend, I posed the question, who's going to lead Notre Dame in receiving yards? And I put Faison at the top because that's exactly what he did last year. And I think he has all the tools to do it again. But Mylan Graham, I put just underneath him in that article because I also think he has the tools. To your point, Mike, he just hasn't done it yet. Look, if he is battling Jordan Faison for the lead in receiving yards at season's end, I think Notre Dame is going to have had a really good season because that means he did come along and Faison is still that guy. And all of a sudden you have multiple options as a number 1 wide receiver.
My reaction to seeing that article was, 1, oh, like, yeah, Graham versus Faison, that would be interesting. But 2, like, just more and more respect that Notre Dame gets from the national media. Several years ago, it's like, yeah, Notre Dame, but or they can't win the big one. And now that person still exists in the national media, but there's a lot more Notre Dame love from some of these talking heads. And I feel like when I started on the beat 2019, or significantly more. And I think JD is one of them. There's just that respect that, yeah, like we haven't even seen these guys connect on a Saturday, spring game, but we haven't seen these guys in an actual football game, but I'm still going to put them in. And there's the case of some of the other transfers like Mensa and Tony, but Mylan Graham, again, we did not see him doing anything of meaningful reps at Ohio State, but he's in the top 5 there. I that was my reaction to that. Do you agree, disagree, Ty?
Well, I think it's actually something you said a minute ago that caught my attention the most. It's Notre Dame's getting more national love from the national media. That's because there's more reasons to love Notre Dame. And I think Mylan Graham is one of those. It's like, oh, wait, they got a wide receiver from Ohio State who was supposed to be the next guy. And the only reason he wasn't the guy is because they had the number 1 wide receiver in this year's draft in Carnell Tate. They're going to have the number 1 wide receiver in next year's draft in Jeremiah Smith. Like, Mylan Graham's time at Ohio State was coming. He just said, you know what, I want it to be now, and I'm going to go do it somewhere like Notre Dame where they do have a really good quarterback. Quincy Porter, you could say all the same things about. Yeah. That goes back to your point, Mike. Like, people love Notre Dame right now because more and more there's a lot more to love about Notre Dame, and that's pretty cool. They are a true national title contender, and I think the wide receivers could, like, if they play up to their potential, be a part of the reason why that's the case.
Yeah. Just thinking back to Notre Dame beating Georgia, like how much that has just changed the trajectory of the program. If Notre Dame doesn't beat Georgia and then has the same season they had last year, playing a lot of what ifs, it's just like, is this Marcus Freeman era? Is it Brian Kelly 2.0? Yeah. Thank you, Riley Leonard, and for your heroics, and Jaden Harrison and RJ Oben in that Georgia game. I will always think back to that one. Folks, please do hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to the Blue and Gold YouTube channel for more content. Lock into blueandgold.com, lock into this YouTube channel. And as always, folks, we will catch you next time.